Hi everyone, and welcome to our first session of the Blind Girl Empowerment Program. So for this session, we did this back in November, and this was our athletic clothing session. And if you weren't here, that's okay. This is what this recording is for, so you can go back and listen to it and see what it was that you missed. So this topic, as I've said in my previous sessions in person, all of these topics are related to sports, but they could also be related to just in general if anybody wants to know about it. This program that I run is for ages 8 to 8. It is from ages 12 to 18. And basically, we want to help those women who are going through puberty and having changes. But if you have any questions and you're older, please feel free to contact me. I have my email on the Blind Girl Empowerment Program page, so you can come and contact me through that way, or through Facebook and any other means you feel needed. We are all here to help, and we can all learn from each other. So without further ado, we're going to go into our topic, which is athletic clothing. So the first thing I want to go over is we're going to go over your underclothes. So bras and underwear. So we're going to start with a bra. Normally, you would have your traditional bra with the cups and the hooks and everything, but when you're an athlete, the best thing is a sports bra. Now, a sports bra has no hooks or clasps or anything. You just pull it over your head, and on it goes. It does have cups. Some can have cups, some don't. It's all depending on you. So what this does is it keeps everything in place while you're exercising. So your boobs aren't going every which way as you're running or jumping or doing whatever. And it keeps the breast tissue from being damaged as you're running and jumping. Because if it's moving around, you're going to be in a lot of pain. You're not going to want to do it because you'll be like, oh, my boobs hurt. Why is this happening? It's because you don't have a sports bra on. So to find a sports bra that fits you and that is comfortable for you, you want to, first of all, be able to breathe in it. Breathing is important. So being able to breathe in it, and you also want to make sure that it's probably about the same size as your regular bra is going to be. So you if you don't want the cups to be too big or too small, you want them to be just right. If you decide to use cups, because if the bra is too big, then your boobs are going to go all over the place. If the bra is too small, your boobs are just going to fall out, and then there's no point of having a sports bra. So that is basically the sports bra. So just to kind of reiterate, you're going to have one that is tight enough for you where you can breathe, but it is tight to keep you in place. You want it so you don't damage any breast tissue, and you want it to be just the right size for you. So not too big, not too small, just right. And you can find sports bras anywhere: Walmart, Target, Dick's Sporting Goods, any type of place you can find. But they are going to be probably a little bit more expensive than your regular traditional bra. And this is just because you want to be comfortable and do the best for your body while exercising. Which then we go down to the underwear. Now, some athletes that I've talked to prefer different types of underwear, and all of these sessions, everything that I bring to you is all individual based. It is based on my experience, what I'm telling you about. So if it's something you don't want to do or something that you would like to try, please feel free to go ahead. I'm just giving you my opinion on what I've experienced. So a lot of females I know will try to go for a thong for underwear because it's easier to run in, and it's easier to run in, easier to move in, not as much fabric. I personally don't like it. I usually go with cotton underwear or kind of like a moisture wicking underwear, so that way you have some you have the proper um, sweat the proper amount of sweat being swept away. And the same thing as the sports bra, you want something that's comfortable, not something too big, something too small. You want something that fits just right. And underwear is kind of a individual base thing. Like I said before, you're going to have to play around with what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Other females I've talked to sometimes use the brief type of underwear versus the bikini. Some just go without underwear. So it is completely up to you, 100%. And you just try it. See what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and see if there's something that you like. So then we go down to socks. So for socks, you kind of want moisture wicking socks as well. So I have Features, which I run with a lot, and those help with sweat, wiping off the sweat. The socks are generally gender neutral, so I have some male friends that use the same socks that I use. So you want a sock that's moisture wicking. Sometimes you might want maybe a running sock or socks that have maybe aloe in it to help your feet with the friction. But that is completely up to you, individual based. So then we have the top clothing. So shirts, pants, shorts. So all of this is also going to be individual based. So for me, I'm a runner. I like to run with a tank top. It gives my arms more motion, and I usually go for a tank top that kind of fits me, so it's it's tight on my body, so that way I don't have any like flowing clothing. It's all just attached to me, and that makes it easier for me to run. I feel more confident with it, and it makes just running easier in general, having that tight-fitting clothing versus a loose-fitting t-shirt and stuff. So usually if I go for a run, I use that type of tank top, running tank top. I always get the stuff with pockets in it. Pockets are a must. You could put your phone in there. You could put your keys for the house. I usually have stuff in there like another water bottle or anything like that. And then my guide also has running stuff in his pockets on his t-shirt that I can grab, and then I have stuff for him in my t-shirt that we can grab. So it's just makes running a lot easier, or going out outdoors on some type of physical activity adventure where you can kind of reach over into your pocket and grab stuff without having like a whole big bag. It makes life a little easier. And the same thing goes for shorts. So when I run outside, I have shorts that go down to about mid-thigh, because we do have this lovely, you do chafe, so that's when your skin rubs together constantly, and then it kind of gets rubbed raw and doesn't look the prettiest. So that's why I have the longer shorts, so then it's not chafing between my thighs, and it makes it a bit more of a comfortable run. And I do the same thing with the shorts. I have a tight-fitting pair of shorts, so that way they don't ride up, they don't ride down, they're not flowy, they're just there, which makes it easier for me. But that, also depends on you as well. So then we go to pants or leggings. So I've talked to several different people about pants and leggings, and you can do it, but there's also, you can use those for workout clothes, but there's several different types of pants and leggings to use for athletics. For example, if you're going for a run and you have long pants on and they're falling down, well, those pants aren't made for running. If you have pants on and you're doing squats and they're falling down, well, they're not made for squats. So you kind of have to figure out what type of pants you want. If you're living in the colder areas like where I am, I'm in upstate New York, so it's a bit colder here, so we have to run with pants more often. So when I go to the store, I kind of run around the store with the pants on, or run around in the dressing room with the pants on, just to make sure that they're actual running pants and that they're good. They're not going to fall down. And so yeah, it's another thing that you kind of have to play around with to see what is what and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So then we go to shoes. This depends solely on the sport that you are doing, your comfort level, and it solely depends on you pretty much. So I am a runner, I'm a triathlete, I have several different shoes for several different of those occasions. So I could sit here and tell you about all the shoes that I have, but I'm not going to, because this is an individual type of session. So if there's a sport that you do, such as running, we'll use for example, I use Hoka's shoes, and those are really comfortable. They're like really thick, and they're really good for long distance. So those are probably the best shoes to have for running, in my opinion. But that also depends individually on everybody else. So that brings us to the end of our first session of the Blind Girl Empowerment Program, Athletic Clothing. If you have any topics that you want me to go over again for athletic clothing, or some that I've missed, I'm sure there are some, or anything that you want me to talk about for athletic clothing, or anything that you want to share, please feel free to write it in the comments section down below of this YouTube page, or you could write it in our Facebook group at Blind Girl Empowerment Program, or on our Facebook page at Blind Girl Empowerment Program. My contact information is also on both of those Facebook pages. If you would like to contact me with any questions or concerns, or if you would like to be a part of our virtual sessions that we have each month, it's usually on a Sunday at around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's usually the second Sunday of each month, about an hour, and we'd love to have you. Hope to see you next time.